guys, it's Angela.
Julia.
So it's AJ Vlogs. So we promised we were gonna start doing more videos, and now we are. I promise. It's because since summer started, we don't really see each other much because I got a new job, so I'm working weird hours. He was on the search for a job, so yeah. But now that we kind of know what's going on, I feel like we'll get together more often and stuff and plan things out more often. Anyways, today we're
we're gonna take summer classes.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I'm gonna take one in June and one in July.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take one in June, but we're gonna be at totally different colleges. So, but you'll be still going to.
I still have a lot of time.
Yeah, because either way, your classes are gonna be where I work. So I'll still see you. Okay, so we're gonna we'll plan something, but whatever. So today we're gonna be doing our first year in college, our experience and advice and tips and all that.
I don't have any advice. I need advice.
Well, it's because, okay guys, I did a lot better than him, so
that's debatable.
Want to my grades? Okay, so we asked on Instagram. Well, I asked if you guys have any questions pertaining to college and stuff and our experience. So I have a couple here that we'll both be answering. So first question: have you all ever cried or feel dumb for not submitting something? Me, it's because, okay, tip number 1, guys, carry a planner with you at all times and use it, because if I don't have a planner, my mind's going everywhere. Like, oh my god, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. So I'd rather just write it down, have it ready, and then I just look at my planner in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night, and I know what I'm doing. But I will admit I forgot one submission. It was finals week or the week before finals week, and I didn't really have homework, or I thought I didn't have homework, but it's just I had finished the work. It's just I forgot to submit it, and I found out the next day after it was due. So I went to go check on Blackboard, it was still open, and it was, so I just quickly submitted it. But that's the only time I've forgotten something. But I felt so, like, I felt so dumb, because I never forget, and this time I forgot and I felt so stupid. But whatever, I was able to fix it. So Leo, your
Anyways,
experience.
Yeah, it's happened to me multiple times, and it doesn't really scare me, but mostly because I take a lot of classes. So when it happens, it's just like, yeah, I gotta move on because I got other classes I gotta focus on, and you learn from it. Okay. Don't be like me.
Be more like me. How is like working at the rec? Okay, so, and am I enjoying it? So I don't know if you guys know, but I used to work at Dunkin', then from Dunkin' I went to Starbucks, and then from Starbucks I started working at the rec. Now the reason why the rec, I want to work at the rec. I can't speak to it. The reason why I wanted to work at the rec in the first place is because I'm going under the kinesiology degree, and it would look really, really, really good if I work at a rec or at a clinic or anything like that. So also because I just like it. I always wanted to work at a gym or something like that. But yeah, I was really excited when I got the job, and I've been there for, it's gonna be my 4th week this Monday. So I'm really happy. Honestly, I love the people there. They're so nice, they're so welcoming, and it just also motivates me to be more active and work out and stuff. So I really do like it. And then there was another question that came with it. Oh, and then what would Julio do to pass by time when I was working?
I would visit you at work. I would go to Starbucks and just wait for her. I was usually always at Starbucks, like whether like doing homework on my phone or just looking at her or even talking to her or like the co-workers. And if I wasn't at Starbucks, what would I be doing? I would either be like working out at the rec, or I probably already left to my house. But most of the time I was either working out, and then I would go visit her at Starbucks. I was always there, since like Starbucks is like small, and I would usually go when it's not packed, because the majority of the time it was really packed, and if I would say there was nowhere to sit, nah, I gotta go somewhere else. I would just like go say hi to Siri, like, hey, like I'm gonna go to here and this and there. And then, but if it was empty, I would just sit there and like look at her, make sure she's not talking to other guys.
Anyways, okay, so another question is, the timing with your schedules affect your relationship? Not really, because we did have really weird schedules. Like when I had morning classes, he had afternoon classes, and then when he had afternoon classes, I had morning classes, so it was like the opposite. But the thing is, Julio would stay at school until I left work, so he was always there. Like, he would, if he wasn't waiting for me at Starbucks, like he said, he will go work out, or he will hang out with his friend, but he will always wait for me after I was done. And even if it was just to hang out with me for like 30 minutes or an hour, because I had a night class. I had like a 7:40 to 9:10 class, and by 7:40 I would tell him, you know, just go home because it's too late. So yeah, he would always be there and wait for me. Or also me, because there was this time that on Fridays, for example, I had 11:30 class, and I would just end at 12:30. But he had a 3 o'clock class, but he was already at school by 10, so he would stay there until 3, so I would stay there with him. So we would just make time for each other, and we would just stay, like, just make sure we had enough time. Yeah. And then, what was the hardest test final you guys took? For me, my first semester, I would have to say history, because I'm not good at it. That was the hardest one, I would say, my first semester. My second semester, it would have to be anatomy, but the lab, because on the lecture one, I did really well, but on the lab, I didn't do as well as I thought I would, or as much I expected, because I ended up getting a B in the class, and I don't like B's. But yeah, that was the hardest one I took. The slides are confusing. I don't know, I need to memorize the slides, but that's the one that's what made lab a lot harder. It was the microscopes and stuff. What about you?
My first semester, I'd say the hardest class I had was General Chemistry 1. I didn't like that class because there was a lot of students. It was like those auditoriums, and all the seats were completely full. And I'm the type of person that I usually don't like to ask questions, especially when there's like a lot of people, because it's kind of embarrassing. And then the professor was kind of rude sometimes, so a lot of people would say that he was cool and this and that. I didn't find it cool. It was kind of like that his final was really difficult, because it was like 50 multiple choice questions, and then like 10 open-ended questions. I don't know what. And I struggled in that class completely last semester. And this past semester, the next class I struggled with was Physics 1, University Physics 1. Physics is like super annoying. It's like math on steroids. There's trillions of formulas you have to memorize, and then there's like one little mistake can throw the whole question off, and then all that work was for nothing. And the final exam was basically similar to the chemistry one. And yeah, I hate those classes, but I did end up passing both early. But I did it. I passed.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Also, guys, tip number 2. Get to know your professors. Me, like, I used to be like a really shy person. I wouldn't go up to my professors or anything. But guys, it pays off. It pays off, because let's say it's happened to me twice. The first semester, I had like an 89 in a class. At the end of the semester already, like the class was ending, I had an 89, needed one more point, and I was like, hey, remember me? Of course they remember because I would talk to them. So then I would go up to them and I would be like, hey, I'm just missing 1 point for an A. Like, I would appreciate if you gave it to me, but I understand if you don't. But my goal is to keep all A's, and most of my classes are on in my class, and I would really appreciate if you help me. And that happened first semester and second semester, and guys, I got the A. So also, just not because of that, but it's also for future references. If you ever need any references for jobs or just scholarships and stuff like that, if you know your professors and they know you, they will give you really good recommendation letters. And also with helping with homework, there's a lot of students that I've heard that they don't know what's going on, they just leave it like that with their homework. But me, on the other hand, I had trouble with my essays, so I got close to a professor. I would go to him and I would tell him, hey, can you help me correct my essay? I really want to get better at this. And he would help me, and he would give me hundreds when I deserved like a 70s or something for my essays. So yeah, it really does help talking to professors. I would tell him all the time, but he wouldn't do it. But I really do recommend it. It really does help a lot in the future and in the present. So second tip, sleeping schedule during college.
No, I actually had it good.
Yeah, I think I had it good. Me, it's because I was like 6 hours, which people would say like, oh, I got like 3 hours of sleep most times. Well, no, I need more than 6 hours of sleep. I need 8 or so, because I had 8 a.m.s. I had an 8 a.m. and it was so hard to stay awake. And then I had the 7:40 to 9:10 when I was already used to going to sleep by 9 or 10. So that was really hard to stay awake during that class in the beginning. So yeah, I would go home like around 9:30, and then I would eat, and I had to get my stuff ready for school, and I would prepare my meals and stuff. So I ended up going to sleep like at 12 every night, and there were times that I had to open Starbucks, and I would have to be there by what time? By 7. Yeah, I had to be there by 7, so I would have to wake up like at 6 something. So I would get 6 hours of sleep most times, but you know, whatever. That was my sleeping schedule.
Yeah, it was the same for me.
Yeah.
Like when I would get home, what time would I get home? I'll get home and get 10, 11, like 9, 10, 11, and I would just automatically fall asleep and then wake up at 6 because I also had 8 a.m. classes. But it wouldn't affect me during the day. I felt good. But yeah, I probably got like 6 hours of sleep too.
Tip number 3, don't take 8 a.m.s.
Unless if you can handle them.
I thought I could handle them, and I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
Like, I could. Like, I was there in class when I woke up, and I was there all the time, but I was always super sleepy. Super tired. Most stressful experience? Like every day for you?
Yeah, having like 7 classes and having to keep track of all your deadlines. That's very stressful.
Yeah, for me, the most stressful was when they would put us in teams, like group projects and stuff. It really does suck when, like, I like to get things done a week before. Like big projects, I like to get them done a week beforehand, or before it's due. But I was put in groups that people liked working under pressure. And okay, if you work under pressure, that's great for you. But leave that when you're working individually, not in a group, because people like me, we stress out, guys. We stress out and we're killing each other, like ourselves. And we're like, oh my god, are they gonna finish it? And then, guys, there was this time I had to do the whole paper myself. A 4-page paper, which is not a lot, but we were supposed to divide them into a page each. I ended up doing the whole thing by myself because I couldn't count on the people that I was working with because they worked best under pressure. So I ended up doing the whole thing alone. It was horrible because it was like a day or 2 before I was due, and I had other things to do also, and I was working, and you know, I just, and then whatever. I mean, and then there's this other time we had to do a presentation for UNIV, and then the person this girl completely bailed on us, but I understand why. But it wasn't, she wouldn't communicate with me and my other group member. Like I had to talk to her like, hey, what's going on? And then she told me. But because if it wasn't for me like asking her like, hey, are you gonna help, are you gonna do this, are you gonna do that, she wouldn't have said anything. And that really got me really mad, because communication is key when you're working in groups. And also the other person, he wouldn't be in class sometimes, so I was left with some of the work myself. And the day of the presentation, he was late. So I had to start on it myself, and then he came like mid-presentation. I was like, really, like, I couldn't do this myself. That's why I hate group projects. I hate them so much. That's the most stressful thing I've ever gone through. Like, I hate them. But we have to work through them, because that's how we're gonna do when we're older and jobs and stuff, whatever. Okay. Next question. What was the biggest misconception the first year of college?
Misconception.
I would have to say transferring from high school to college. That was hard because, you know, in high school they baby you, and they remind you often like, hey, you have this due, or like, hey, you.
But they would always tell us like, college is not gonna be like this.
I know, but I mean, you're not
That's
prepared.
That's not really a misconception though. Like, you know what was gonna happen.
But you're not really prepared.
But is that considered a misconception?
Like, I just didn't think it was gonna be that, like it impacted me so hard in the beginning. Like, I would cry every day for like a month in since we started school. I was always stressed. I didn't know how my way through college yet, so because all these deadlines were classes and homeworks, and then knowing how to use Blackboard and Uconnect. Like, it's easy now, but when you first start, it's kind of like, what am I doing? And you don't understand like the assignment lists online and stuff, and it's just really confusing. And also, I mean, most of the time I was alone in college, except I was with Julio sometimes. But besides,
sometimes,
like most all the time,
always with me.
Yeah. Anyways, and then but besides Julio, I had no one, you know, because like everyone's doing their own thing and everyone's in classes. All my friends were busy in class, or they just couldn't hang out, or, you know, everyone was doing their own thing. And then I was working all the time, so my only friends that I had were work friends, but then some left, and then some were not my cup of tea.
I don't think I have a misconception. I guess the only, like, I feel that we have it harder because of the scholarship that we're on, which makes us take a lot of classes. And then, like, I see other people who
Chilling.
Or not chill, but they have it simpler. Like, they have 4 classes, and then we're over here with like 6, 7, 8. And yeah, it's like they put more pressure on you. Just, well, yeah, you get money, but it makes college life a lot more difficult.
Especially since, like, I would work 7-hour shifts sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you work. I don't work.
Yeah.
I don't want to work, especially when I have that many classes.
Yeah, so it was really, really, really hard for me, because the second semester of college I had to take 17 credit hours, because I wasn't sure about I had to complete 30 hours in the whole year, and I wasn't sure about that. And I found out the second semester, so I had only taken 13 last semester, so I had to make up for that. And I was working more than 30 hours a week. No, more than 25. And I was going crazy. My grades started to go down. I was failing a class, and I started freaking out. I had like 2 C's. It was the worst feeling ever. And I was like, no. I cut down my hours from like more than 25 to I cut them down to 15 hours, because I was like, no, I can't handle this. I can't. So I cut them off. But I ended up getting better grades. So yeah, tip number 3, don't get that many hours in classes. I mean, in at work, if you don't need to.
Yeah, if you don't have to work, don't work.
And also figure out if you get a scholarship, figure out the requirements, because you find out early you're crying at the end of the semester, I swear. Like, how do you maintain almost all A's in a job? That's questions for me. Because, okay, I got 4 A's and 2 B's. But my B's were high B's, but that doesn't count in college, but whatever. So yeah, like I said, I cut down a lot on my hours when I saw that it was, when work was affecting my grades. So I cut down a lot. And I focused a lot at work. I focused a lot in school. And also, guys, make sure you have something that de-stresses you. For example, take some time for yourself. Sometimes, like, don't stress out and be like, oh my god, I have this. Okay, look, if you're stressing out, you're wasting time on doing work in the first place. So stressing out is not gonna help you at all. I was such a big I would stress myself out for everything. And I went to this meeting kind of thing group that was called stress management, so it helped me figure things out, distress a little bit. So then I would run, and that would distress me. And also I would just take some time for myself sometimes, like, okay, let me distress, like that kind of stuff, that just helped me a lot too. Okay, this one's also for me. And so how did I keep an A in anatomy too? So my tia's a nurse, and it was the one with the highest GPA in her class, so she knows what she's doing. She knows how to help me. So I would go to her all the time and be like, hey, I need your help, and she would help me by memorizing things. Hey. She would help me by giving me little tips and stuff, and I link things a lot, and that's how I remember them. So I can't give you an example right now because I would have to like see the board and stuff and whatever. But okay, like the bone over here, this is a scapula, and the reason how I know that is because I think of Dracula when he goes like that with his wings. So then I think, like, since it's connected to his wings, Dracula, scapula, that's how I remember that one, for example. And yeah, so I would just link up things, and I would study a lot. Like, whenever the professor would say in class and he emphasized it a lot, especially, I would write it down on my notebook, and I would go home and I would read it and I would go over it, and but also don't stress yourself out, because that burns out your brain and stuff, and like just messes you up. So that's how I maintain an A. And then that's also my tips on exams. Is another question. That was my tip again. What's the craziest weirdest thing you saw on campus? The weird couple. Okay, so we would see this weird couple. No, I'm not gonna talk about it, but it was weird. No?
No, I can't think of it.
Okay, and then our last question, guys. How was it seeing each other at school every day? It was great.
It was exhausting.
Anyways, it was great, guys. To be honest, it wasn't bad. I liked it because before even going into college.
You liked it.
What does that mean?
Why do you have to say you liked it? Like, obviously you think it's me.
Anyways, so
were you texting?
Okay, anyways, it was good because we would catch up a lot, like in our classes and how we felt, and we would hang out a lot too. We would, like, in between my classes or his classes, we would go eat sometimes, or we would go work out and stuff. So yeah, before even going into college, like, I was scared of not seeing him as often, maybe seeing him once a week, and I'm not used to that. So who's texting me? Anyways, so yeah, I thought it was good. What do you think?
About seeing each other all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we always made time for each other. We basically memorized our schedules. Like one day it's like, oh, today's the day you have this class. Or you're like, well, I'll see you after that class, or oh, I'll see you after this one. We just made room for each other.
So, yeah, because we wanted to see each other, we would make time. So there wasn't a single day we would go without seeing each other. And like I said, he will always wait for me even after work. There was this one time he did get really sick, so that's the only time he went home. But yeah, that was like the only one time he didn't.
Oh, I mentioned it in the other video when I got like a stomach flu.
Oh yeah, that was the only day he went home and couldn't handle it. But out of all the days we've been together in school, that was the one day he didn't like wait for me after work. But it was understandable because he was like dying in his restroom. But yeah, that concludes this video. Yeah, so guys, I'm not sure when this video will go up, but the next video for sure, guys, because I know some of you have been asking me for it.
Even my mom mentioned it. Like,
well, it's because, guys, I was broke for a while. So I couldn't spend money on food. Like, I was just relying on my parents or my mom to buy groceries. But now that I started this work at the rec and they paid me, now I have money. So I'm gonna go buy groceries today, guys, I swear. And I'll do the video today later on. But right now we're gonna go play volleyball, maybe basketball. But we need to be fit because we haven't. Since I've been sick, I haven't worked out in like 5 days, guys. And I feel like poop, so I need to go do something. So we'll see you all in the next video. Bye.